So with that, I want to invite the actual, I think everybody knows, reason that we're all here in terms of a conference, and the founder and CEO of Convergence, Andrew Prell.
I got to go here, huh? I'm taking this with me. So, anybody having fun yet? Yeah. I don't know how I follow these guys. I literally feel like an ant on the shoulders of giants in this industry. These are guys that I've always looked up to, and for some reason I come up with an idea and they want to follow it. So we've got the Silicon Nexus project. I'll go into a little more detail here. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk through this because this conference has been over the top for me. It's the level of speakers came here, supported this, wants this to happen. People, coming in over Zoom on video conferencing and that. It's been just a fun networking event, and we have grown our friendships x-fold. It's awesome. That's what this stuff's all about. Anyway, Convergence. Anybody believe that our passions are video games? Obviously. And you can trace my team's lineage back to early Atari, early Namco, early Sega, early Nintendo. These are the guys that reinvented this industry. How many times, David, did you go into that?
4 or 5.
Reinvented this industry 2, 3, 4 times from scratch, and that they feel it's time to do it again. And that's what we're going to do. So we've got Kevin Williams, who was part of the creation of Disney Quest. We got Kevin Backus, part of the creation of Xbox. We'll hear from later on today, probably our crown jewel in all of this is our secret weapon is Ron Miners. Ron Miners will be talking later on today. Let's see if I can actually, well, where's the, oh, there it is. Laser pointer down to Ron here. He was with this, doing this little community director thing online for companies such as The Sims, which is excessively important in ICOs. Because everybody thinks when they get the ICO done, they're done. And that's the starting gate. It's from that point on that you have a community that you have to manage expectations. And that's what it's all about. But anyway, this team I am just honored to be part of. Anyway, I'm going to have a hard time talking today because I'm getting choked up here. So we got ICO Box. We've got some awesome ICO advisors and CryptoLogic team. But right now, there's almost 5 billion users on the cell phone, and the cell phone's the bottom tier of our power pyramid. We're going to take those users and give them reasons to interact in all the other pieces of the entertainment industry. There's only 10 million, roughly, users in cryptocurrency. These numbers are excessively important right now. 5 billion cell phones, 10 million cryptocurrency users. There's over 2 billion video game players, and every one of them, I guarantee you, has a cell phone. Doesn't mean they play the games on it all the time. They love to play, and they love to play together, all together. We have an issue today. These guys still have walled gardens up that they're protecting in an interconnected society. Our purpose is to bring everybody together, to have all the devices be able to play together in the same experiences at the same time. and evolve it to an open source organization, to evolve it to where all of the players have roles and responsibilities or a say in what they get to play. Right now, those walled gardens is a handful of people whose job depends on whether that game they just invested in is successful. And when you talk about, $500 million titles, people get kind of scared putting their job on the line. And that's just evolving to billion-dollar projects. And right now, there's possibly billion-dollar projects being built with the marketing if you add that in, but we're talking about design-build project that's $1 billion by itself. Who's going to risk their jobs on that in these big companies? So we want the players to be able to say, this is what I want to play, this is what I want to do, and have a say in it. So the current consumer game industry is wrapped around the dollar bill. You've got the developers, you've got the publishers, you've got the equipment manufacturers, you've got the players, and you've got the media. The current out-of-home entertainment industry is also wrapped around the dollar bill. Developers, manufacturers, distributors, operators, locations, and players, they're around a dollar bill society. And in a dollar bill society, because the dollar bill cannot grow in value, in order to get more wealth in the dollar bill, you have to get more dollar bills. And in a society where you have to get more dollar bills, Kevin over here getting more dollar bills doesn't help me. Anybody in the audience here getting the dollar bills doesn't help me. Me getting more dollar bills doesn't help you. That's actually important. We're going to have it revolving around a token-based economy. We're going to bring it all together around a token-based economy because there's a huge difference in a token-based economy than in a dollar bill economy. So one of the guys on our slide, our team members, Kevin Backus, he worked at a little company called Microsoft before they had gotten into the console market. When they decided to get into the console market was the epic time because the PlayStation had just pretty much kicked out Sega and Nintendo from the console manufacturing business. They had, what was the numbers, Kevin? I want to get 85, 90% of the industry at that point? 88% of the industry was owned by PlayStation. And yet this upstart, yeah, it was Microsoft, but they had actually tried 4 or 5 times before to get in the video game industry, was coming into this console market. And Kevin went around with that dollar bill. I'd like to say a briefcase full of dollar bills, but obviously we know it was on a credit card and in a bank account and a checkbook. But he used the dollar bill to go and acquire all kinds of content, to get the licensing for it, but he was using that dollar bill to acquire content for this Xbox to come out to the world. And the people that were buying the Xbox had to use the exact same medium, the dollar bill. That doesn't go up in value. And he found one that exploded. Who knows what that one was? What was the game out there? Anybody in the audience knows the game that made the Xbox? Come on, I need feedback. What? Halo. Who in here bought the Xbox specifically to play Halo? Why? Because it was the first there's good gameplay, but it was the first interconnected console. Interconnected game. You could bring my Xbox and your Xbox, we could hook them together and get 8 people playing. It was freaking awesome, and you could do it over the internet. But Xbox exploded, and in a dollar bill society, that was awesome for Halo, awesome for the Xbox, and it actually had a network effect on all these games that Kevin went and put money in. But it wasn't a one-to-one ratio. There was, let's say, 24 million people, I believe is the exact number now, bought the Xbox to play Halo, and 4 million went into Game X, 5 million might have went to Game Y as well as something else to play. So it was a trickle-out economy on a network effect. I like to say a limited network effect. Now, had he used a token, something magical would have happened. Remember, 24 million people bought the Xbox to play Halo. How many people are there in cryptocurrency today? That's one game, has 2.5 times the number of people that are in cryptocurrency. And that game isn't even on a cell phone. Had he used a token, all boats would have rose together. If he put $1 million into 100 companies, when 24 million people flocked to the Halo through that token, what would have happened to that token? I mean, supply, demand, all that stuff. Let's just say it only went up 10%. Or 10 times. It only went from like a penny token to a dime token. He just took his $1 million investment in 100 companies to 10 million. But more important than that, he just 10x'd everybody in that ecosystem that had some kind of token holdings. When 24 million people flocked to the Xbox through the dollar bill, how many here had dollar bills? And did they go up in value? No. But if somebody uses a token and 24 million people flocks to a game through that token and they had to use that token, anybody that owns that token would go up in value as well when that many new people come into the ecosystem through that medium of exchange. That is freaking mind-boggling to me. And the technology just loves to work. There we go. So, what we're calling our tokenomics, I guess, is our token economy, as I've been so recently corrected. But our tokenomics and token economy, we have 37% of our tokens set aside specifically to do what Kevin did with the Xbox. We're going out to acquire any kinds of assets that will improve our ecosystem through the whole spectrum, from virtual reality, augmented reality, video games, cell phone content, infrastructure, locations, hardware, software, anything that will improve our economy, we get to use, according to our white paper, that 37% of our tokens with. We also have 38% of our tokens. Notice I have these things saying future growth. Are we going to deploy them tomorrow? No! These are things that will be out there for a 5-year growth path as needed for intelligent investments into the projects and for players who come in and get to the ultimate levels or do the right things in those projects. Just like World of Warcraft, how do you grind for gold? How do you grind for pelts? How do you grind for all the different things in those games? You get to earn these things, and we're going to have them earn different pieces of our token. So there was my big ta-da. May the 4th be with you. We are announcing the Droid coin. We have 1 trillion Droid coins hitting wallets today, and everybody that's involved needs to come up on stage because that is what we're doing today. Come on up, people. You're part of this. You're part of this monstrosity. Come on up here, Rob. You're one of the founders. So we have just, through ICO Box has just completed our contract. It is published out on our GitHub, so everybody can go see it. We're trying to be fully compliant here, but we now have today the droid coins, and these are the droids you're looking for. Everybody that came on the Bourbon with Billionaires Trail, everybody that's come to the conference, everybody's here, everybody that's interacting and is going through this conference today and yesterday, we're going to give 1 million of them. Make sure, absolutely, make sure that we have an ERC20 wallet given to Emily. Where is it? Somebody go out there and get Emily. Okay, well, she's listening to it out there. Make sure you thank Emily when you give her your ERC20 wallet code so we can drop those in there. And if you don't know what that is, and if you're at this conference and any of these learning things, make sure you interact with Enrique and Skylar, and they will build you one of those wallets. But we're going to use these tokens. We're going to use these things legitimately and logically the right way to break in this new economy in the game space. And this is the group that is reimagining the entire entertainment ecosystem from soup to nuts, from out-of-home entertainment all the way into consumer. So thank you all very much. Jay?
Okay, is that it?
That's my ta-da.
Well, so there was one slide, right, where we actually have the fund at siliconexus.com.
Oh, yeah. Go back to our droid slide, if you will. Thank you.
Well, it's one of those things where,
We bring up our slides again? Yeah, there we go.
Just because SEC hasn't made up their minds yet about exactly how things can work, as we heard yesterday, we do know that we can always bring our product to market using crowdfunding. So if you go to fund.siliconexus.com, you'll see that we actually have an offer for virtual assets, a Kickstarter type, right inside of our universe for virtual assets that can be used in our universe. So right now, we can't actually sell droid coins, we can give them to all of you, and you are here at this historic moment when we'll all look back and say, I was there when.
But if you want to be part of, if you want to support the Silicon Nexus project, just like you would support any Kickstarter out there, any Indiegogo out there, go to fund.siliconexus.com. You can buy land, you can buy items, you can buy resource spots, you can buy Tom Rowe's book, his original book that's on there as well. We should add Kevin's book. You can buy them on there. Support us. This is an awesome day. I'm going to go get prepared for tonight and tomorrow night and the Derby.
Yeah.
So I'm out.
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. And so I think that's one of the challenges that any of us always have, is that when you're putting on one of these events, you get to the point where the energy that it's taken to get here, and that, again, ta-da for bringing out the Droid coin. Once you publish it on the web and it's on a smart contract, it is and it's out there. We just wanted to make sure we got a chance to tell everybody about it.